In this video, I'll showcase how you can do a pickup, going through the narrative tell with quest, with task, but also using the story framework's inventory system. So the first thing is that the most important structure that we need to understand is the interaction actor data. In our engine, in story framework, it is called interactable data. It is this one. It has name, it has the mesh. The mesh has a static mesh or skeletal mesh. If you have both, it will prefer the skeletal mesh. It has the offset, it has the display from range. It should be a float. Yep. And there will be the interaction methods. There are like 5 to 6 given method, and of course you can implement your own. And there are the pickup method, and there are the if it has item, inspect, and also drag. So these are the settings we will see really quick. So why this structure is important? Because this structure is what is being passed around throughout story framework. One blueprint we are using is called InteractableBase BP. So basically, everything you see in the level in the display is that they are either straight up off InteractableBase BP, or they are the child class of Interactable BP. So what I mean is the interaction data would be used everywhere if you are trying to interact with anything, right, within story framework. So it is used right here. It's a set variable, and as you can see, you can either set it in the class, right? You can set it here, or you can set it per instantly. So for example, this is an instance. As you can see, most of the interactables are instance, right? So they are straight up just interactable base BP instead of child class. So what you can do is per instance, you can go to the detail and you can look for the interaction method. Oh, interaction data is right here. And you can change it here, right? I can be like dog, right? And I can do like a rock, right? You can, yep, that's how you can change it. You can do it in detail. The other way you can do it is in the use the what's it called? Utility widget, right? That's what's called, utility widget. It comes with the story framework as well. So basically, you can go to the object setting. Same thing, right? I can still call this like a rock, and then I can give it like a rock. We can apply chain, right? You see, it's same thing. But one thing is that you can't really like control Z, so you have to like go into the detail and like change it back. That is one thing if you are using the widgets. So yeah, I'll just delete it. It doesn't matter. Okay, so now let's go back. Let's go to why we need it, right? So besides the interaction data, the interactable data, there's another thing that's kind of important that is being passed is the actor itself. Because there's a functionality, how we interact with the interactables or any actors in this world is through line trace, as well as in story framework, right? So we does a line trace and we get a head actor and we return an actor class. So yeah, this will be the other data besides the interaction data, right? This this will be the other variable that will be passed in besides the interaction data. There's a functionality, I believe it should be right here. Yep. So it's like when we, for example, add item to inventory, the interaction data is passed in as well as the actor itself, right? If that makes sense. There are plenty more other functionalities that use these two values, but yeah, So you just need to know these two. You just need to know that the class is actor for the interaction actor, and the class for the interaction data is interactable data, right? The name can be somewhat confusing sometimes. So let's move on. The first thing is that, well, we've already talked about this. Yep, we talked about this. So the first thing is that the update interaction data, which is defined in InteractableBase. And how do I InteractableBase? So update interaction. Okay, so this functionality is implemented in the class, right? But it is inherited from the interface. The interface is called SF Interaction Blueprint Interface, right? Because we have this interface. Um, that's why it works, right? And that's why it, that's why it's called interactable base, right? So technically, you don't really need this as the parent class. You can have any blueprint you want, but as long as you have this interaction interface, and also you implement, for example, the update interaction data. So um, right, so you can keep it persistent or whatever you want, right? So that's one thing. That's one thing to know. Okay, so the second thing is that we have this functionality called get interaction data, which is implemented in the interactable base blueprint, which is how should I say this? Which is uh, inherited from the Star Framework interaction blueprint interface, right? So you can implement it differently. Depends on what your requirement of your project is. But in this case, right, the given case, it is just basically return as interaction data, the ones we just talked about. And this functionality is called in the InteractionManager in the root interaction, right? So in this case, we get to see that the target interaction actor, which is the actor, get passed in, and we find out that if it has the interaction BPI, and it does have it, and we implement it in the interactable base, right? Then we set the target interaction actor data. Then it goes to here. Then we get to see that when we want to add the item to inventory, once it's picked up, we have the target interaction actor data as well as the target interaction data set already, right? So to this point, right, we should understand that the interaction data as well as the interaction actor was passed from the interactable base to the interaction manager of our controller, whatever controller you are using, right? If that makes sense. So, yeah, I think this is pretty like rudimental. This is pretty important to understand, like how it's passing, and this function is called, and we are able to add the interactable data as well as the actor, right? Why it's called pin and kill is because once it's added, we kill the actor that is, in the level, and we add it into our inventory. And you can spawn it if you drop it, so it's whatever. And we talk about the other interaction, and the interactions functions were set in the root interaction graph as well. I believe it's a collapsed graph. So, for example, I made small rock pickup. So for the interacted with, so this function for this functionality, what I implemented is I basically call the pickup method first. So this is what the pickup method do. If you check the code, the source code, then I basically call the narrative functions, right? I created a event dispatcher in the controller, then I call it, and upon it calls it, we also have it binded in our task blueprint, and it after we add it into the inventory, we call, we try to find it. If we find the small rock that was being picked up, if it's true, then we add progress. So add progress, since our this task only require one, so we are able to, just finish it basically, right? So we want to like pick up little rock. We just need one, right? Once it's picked up, then it's done. So yeah, I hope this is like helpful. I hope this help you understand a little bit better, like what are the functionalities that were being used when the item is being picked up, when it's being interacted, and these should be the functions that you look for. And the main thing that you should modify is the interactable data, right? Since that's the thing that's being passed around. And yeah, this will be it. I think I will yeah, I will like play what I have currently. I think I have it had in the other video, but just in case, so we can talk to the rock. Say move, and I will find them. Okay, so at this point we started the quest, right? So we can go to the left side, or we can go to the right side. We go to the right side, we have an update because it's triggered by location, and we can pick up the little rock, right? And once it's picked up, what we just implemented all get executed, and we go back to the rock. It was just thank you for finding a little rock. So it succeeded, right? We're able to pick up the item through story framework, and also to check if we indeed have the item in our inventory in narrative tile, right? In the narrative task blueprint. And this is my approach. I assume other people would have other different approach. If you have something that's more brilliant, please let me know. Because I'm pretty new. I don't think there's like too much information out there about combining these two. But thank you for all the devs, and also thank you for